Red, yes, I. Life is good fire.
Serious thing. We are here again, Ballhead and the Dread podcast. Have to give thanks for everyone tuning in from those times to now. If you get free time, check out EP from the one Far Right Disrupting the Status Quo in the description. Also, check out Brand New Reasoning from the one Bounty Killer this week. I never knew TV.com. You don't want to miss it. Definitely in a different light. I would say the reason is more with Rodney Price than Bounty Killer. You have to make the decision when you see it for yourself. Far Right, what we're reasoning about today?
Yes, I. So today we are reasoning about how constructive criticism change them life, and why people need to observe what constructive criticism really is instead of getting sensitive when you get constructive criticism, because I think we can really develop your life. And we can make a clear distinction and a reasoning between what is constructive criticism, because it's like enough people feel like anything any form of criticism coming at them, we organize, them feel like it's more time than people feel like it's a grudge, but it's not really a grudge thing, or it's not really somebody that try to belittle something where actually can really improve your life. So sometimes we have to just listen and see how that can actually improve your life for the best,
Serious thing, Far, and this is a serious reasoning. I can speak from personal experience. Now, because I grew up in sports, I've always received constructive criticism, and I learned from early how to navigate it, filter it, right? I think people's biggest problem is that they take any form of criticism as hating. That's the word, right? Everything is hating. That's not necessarily the case. I think the first thing we have to do is listen. And I'll say that again. This is the key component, right? I think sometimes who the message is coming from, the tone of the message, all that kind of distorts the message itself. And I think we need to stay back and listen first before you respond. I think this default of getting in defensive mode when someone says something to you is something that you have to work on to get into this realm of constructive criticism. As I stated earlier, playing in sports, whatever, the universe has blessed me with some of the craziest coaches ever, my younger age and my older age. And they say whatever, whenever. Now, I will say this. I'm not saying that it's a healthy thing. So let me just put that out there, right? And some people weren't able to deal with it. But I will say, when you actually get past the emotion or the tone and actually listen to what they say, a lot of times it's true. A lot of times it's true. All right. It's a lot of times where it's like things you need to get better at. And me personally, I'm so thankful for those experiences. So thankful for having those men in my life. Even at the young age, I didn't like the tone. I didn't like the presentation, but I want to tell you what they told me has been very beneficial in my life, because they told me things that I needed to improve on. With the constructive criticism, a lot of people have a distorted view of themselves. You may be here in regards to your performance, but for some reason you think that you're here. And I'm not telling anyone to have a negative view of themselves, but you need to work on having a realistic view of yourself, right? And telling yourself, there are certain aspects of your life that you need to improve on, and that's the beauty of constructive criticism. And I think you should be thankful if you have a peer, a friend, a family member who loves you enough to be truthful with you. A lot of times we have these phony relationships where no one wants to tell you anything. There is a flip side to it, which we need to discuss later in regards to people who are just negative and haters, but we're focusing on now constructive criticism. First thing with this constructive criticism is listening. You have to humble yourself. You have to put the emotions to the side and just listen to what the person is saying. Now, what the person's saying is foolishness, you disregard it and go about your day. But the reason a lot of times it affects you, it punches you in your stomach, it makes you feel uncomfortable, because there is a level of truth in there, and you don't want to accept that you need to improve in a certain area. From we come out the womb till we go back into the dirt, we always can improve in all aspects of our life. So that's the thing. But society right now, with everything is so soft and everybody doesn't want to offend everyone, and everyone is so, it's just soft fire. That's why the average person, more than the average person, majority of people, if you give them constructive criticism, the default is not to listen, but to become defensive. And I think before you even become defensive, listen to what the person has to say. We get hey, Far Right, listen, obviously, when you do things in life, you get a lot of criticism. I get a lot of criticism, and I listen. And, you know, the more criticism you get and you become better at filtering criticism, yes, there's a portion of it that is foolishness and I disregard it and keep it moving. But there's a portion that is actually truthful. There's actually truth there, and there are areas that you need to improve on. And if you want to improve and get really good at what you're at, you have to be able to take constructive criticism and what? Apply it, Farai. Because you have to build yourself up to get the constructive criticism, but then you have to apply it, or you may have to ask for help from someone else how to do it, because it may be a thing that you generally don't know how to do. And you need to search out the help or the expertise from someone else that you can now implement that thing to improve. It's all about improvement, Farai. And I noticed that people who can't, all right, I'm going to give you one more example, Farai. These people are psychopaths, and this is like an extreme level. Look at your Kobe Bryants and your Michael Jordans. They constantly take constructive criticism. That's why they get better. The constructive criticism allows to identify aspects of their craft that they need to improve on, that puts them on a different heights. So every year they get better and better. That is an extreme case. I'm not telling people to like, you know, block everybody off and get crazy with your craft, but the principle in regards to taking, you know, you need to get better at this. This is not your strong point. You're not good at this. So if I want to get better at that, I have to accept the criticism and figure out a way to improve. The criticism is all about improving, Farai. Constructive criticism, that is, you know?
You know what the thing is you can't be open for constructive criticism if you're very egotistic. And I feel like majority of people are very egotistic in themselves, as they say. Them think them at a certain level and them not actually reach a certain level. So it requires you for looking at yourself. I really meditate, like, where am I? Where am I currently in my life? Where should I be? And then if you're really looking at yourself and say, where am I? Where should I really be? Should I really be at this point in time? And then the criticism will come at you. Does this impact me at this very time? Will this be something that will make me go forward? Is this something that will make me go backward? Is this something that affect my personality? You have a whole heap of different criteria we have to look on it from, you know. And I feel like most of the time, the people them so caught up in a being offended, as what they say. So I feel like the part that really capture them, you know, like the part that hold them back. So because of this being offended part. Oh, I'm offended by the way that you said this. I'm offended by the gesture. I'm offended by the fact that you even mentioned this to me. But no, anybody can mention anything to you at all. I'm say you have to just let go the ego. So you let go the ego, you start to a whole heap of different things start coming in front of you, we can benefit your life. And I feel like the next thing is that if you in a circle and somebody can give you a criticism we're constructive, then that means you're in the appropriate circle, because your circle is supposed to be able for benefit you. That simply means that if you're not taking criticism from anyone in your circle, I would advise you not to be around that circle. That's one particular thing I'm gonna like to tell anybody, because you notice there's so many examples how we can use where anybody with their own, what they would call them in our culture, yes man. See, if you're there on somebody who always say yes, I always agree with you 24/7, then that person is not a person who beneficial to your life, and you really need to understand that. As I mean, I tell you, say somebody and vice versa, anybody will always criticize you.
Red flag.
It's still a red flag. So any extreme end of the spectrum are something where really set your life back, and I really feel like people need to even meditate the first step before them can even understand what constructive criticism is for you.
Well, Farai, I just want to say that you brought up a great point in regards to the what we refer to as your ecosystem, right? But the thing is, Farai, they're around people who don't. They're purposely around. They're purposely around people for that reason. You know, and what we are saying is, and this message is not for everyone. I want to be clear, right? But really, if you want to grow within yourself, I'll give you an example in regards to personal characteristics, right? If everyone or numerous people are telling you the same thing about a negative behavior that you're doing, everyone else is not the problem, Farai. There's something within your life you have to change. Like when I was young, I had a terrible temper, right? So people say, yo, you got a bad temper, you got a bad temper. So I can't lie to myself and say, oh, everybody else is tripping. No, I have a bad temper I got to tone it down. I got to figure out a way to keep my emotions under wrap. But what we do now is that when you're consistently hearing this message, you now get defensive and denial and being unrealistic, say it's everybody else. If you have different people at different spaces saying the same thing about you, it's not them, it's you. If you think, all right, I'll give you a next example, right? What can everyone relate to? Let's do sports, right? Say you're a young person. I can speak about myself. I'm playing sports, right? And I felt the way at one time like the coach was grudging me. This is a personal experience, right? I'm just trying to give you a little analogy of the thing. I felt the coach was grudging me, right? But was the coach grudging me, or there were aspects of my game that I couldn't perform in that weren't beneficial to the team? Yes, I may be good. I may be a decent player, right? But for what the team needs, I was not able to provide that. So what I have to do is say, you know what? This part of my game is weak. Let me go build up this part of my game. Let me at least do that. Let me go look at other people that know how to do it and start getting amongst some people to build up that part of my game. You know what the result was, Farai? I'm on the court more. I'm playing better because I just can't run away and say everybody grudging me or the person's hating on me. There are instances where people are hating on you, but a lot of times it's like, Farai, people think they're too important now. A lot of times you don't do anything for anyone to hate on you. It's like you want people, no one's paying you any mind. You haven't excelled at anything yet in your life, at least. So I don't know if you listen to too much rap songs, Farai, you're watching celebrities and you want this. No one's really paying you any mind. You're not good enough for anyone to pay you any mind. No one's blocking you. No one's denying you anything. Everybody feel like it's some conspiracy. No one's paying you any mind. You're really not. If we really break it down, what you need to do is figure out the best way to improve yourself holistically as a human being. If you're not sociable, figure out not actually to be a social butterfly, but be sociable enough that you could get things done. If you don't know how to speak, you need to work on speaking. If you don't know how to type, you need to work on typing. If you don't know how to read, you need to work on reading. Now, if you're really on the heights and it's like, man, I'm really killing it and I'm exceeding myself, then it's like, all right, you may be in a situation, but usually that's not the case. Usually if you talk to the average person who's being hated on or they fighting against them, Farai, they're not really that good at their craft. They may think they are, but sorry, Farai.
No, I think where I go on is that it is our whole culture of creating an enemy, right? So everybody like to create this enemy to make themselves feel better or to feel good about themselves, right? So when you create an enemy, it's like, all right, the world is against me now. No, I have a real purpose to say now, all right, see, they them are fight me. But what me not understand is that, all right, if you create an enemy in your head, right? Say you create an enemy. Like, thinking about it from the way how my brain work, if me create an enemy, that would be a motivation then, because me I say, all right, if the world against me, then me I go really get things together and set things straight. But like, majority of people who create this enemy in them head is like, it's not better them. So why would you create an enemy in your own head and it don't better your life, it don't better the outcome of whatever you try to accomplish for you? And that's the weird part for you, because this whole thing now, once you give a man a constructive criticism, you're bad mind. Like, your bad mind, you automatically just don't like them, you envy them, you don't want to see them shine. Like, where did that culture come from? Like, where did that culture come from? Because it starts showing up more now than ever, and especially with the whole social media age now, you know. Because, go on.
All right, you answered your thing. There's two things I want to say, right? One, the part you just said in regards to creating an enemy. And you would think that it would give you motivation. That's a progressive perspective. But a non-progressive perspective, the enemy is to justify the mediocrity. It's a scapegoat in the sense that this has not happened because of that person. I just want to clarify that, right? On the next thing too now, to tie in this whole enemy thing, I think that, as I said, I'm not a psychologist. We just hear reasoning for right. So I'm not a psychologist. I just want to put that out there for everybody to get excited. But if you really analyze it, it seems like some odd way of partaking in some celebrity, because a celebrity has these adversaries, or maybe it's a superhero vibe. I don't know, but it's definitely an influence of Hollywood, because everyone's a celebrity on social media. This person, this and that, and it's just like no one really cares. I think that's what people need to understand. This is the basis of the thing. People think people care about them more than they do. I think people, and if you have someone sitting around talking about you all day, they already lost in life, because obviously they're not. I don't know where they have time to talk about you so much. So that shouldn't even be a concern. So a lot of these things we talk about, far right, you want to jump in?
No, man, I said there is something out there that's bring a thought process to my brain. I never really did a think about it. Like it's an alter ego. So basically, it's a whole alter ego really I go on. Now, the day I said that a while ago, just bring it to my brain, man. It's an alter ego really I take place right now where, you know, like them pick them one particular superhero and them say, all right, this is who I am. And this superhero have a villain attached to it. So that is the whole concept of creating the enemy in our head. So that just made me really realize that, because the fact say most of the people them who I tell you say them people are fight them not really have a mission in place where can actually lead them to improving themselves. That are the biggest thing. So, but what I really want even go to is that, all right, in our music, as a youth of the music, right? You see, constructive criticism is a thing we bring out the best in a year. You know if a criticism is constructive, as I said before, like once you can see the improvement, you know. So if you say example that somebody give a criticism and you wonder if it accurate, or if it real, or if it necessary, right? Or if it's something that can benefit your life. All you have to do, you know, is try it, you know. I mean, once you try it, you know, you will know, you know. For instance, a man say, you know, say, yeah, sing flat. Because that when early in my music career, that was something where once make me know, so, all right, you have a talent, but sometimes the end party, you know, them not sound like them are project the right way, seeing, and yeah, sing, but you not sing with no feelings. You're not, come the belly of your song them missing. So I say, all right, we could go check it out certain way. And then on top of that now, once I make a know, all right, you know you're singing, but you need some harmony in your song them, because you have the melody, but there's no harmony in the space in between the songs. I will start look to myself and say, yo, you know, say I choose this, all right, make we go relax from and take myself off of the front page, go in, go study the craft, go try to do some local voice training, get some things together. And we see the results. So we compare, we listen one song, a song prior to that constructive criticism, then we listen a song post that constructive criticism, and fire the levels where the thing them is not a normal level. So you will see the thing, if there's an actual constructive person and you get a constructive criticism, just believe fire when you really compare what was there in the past and what is there in the present or the future post that constructive criticism, you will know, because the result and the quality of that work and effort improve so drastically that you're not even have to question it.
And I hope you people listen to Far Eye, because as a man that witnessed personally what he's speaking about, right? One, there's an aspect there called accountability, right? So yeah, I need to get better. Far Eye told me he recorded a song off key. What artist gonna tell you that, Far Eye? Was it ecological integrity?
Then you didn't hear it, man. You listening to hear it. You have to be real with yourself.
Well, hold on. I just want to say, back to the accountability, you're not telling me the engineer, this man not telling me about no engineer or a bad day or musicians. The man just said, well, you know, I recorded this song off key, and it's done, and it's okay. You know, we're all in the growing process. That's what he was able, that's the best he could do at that stage. And he accepted that, and I said, but moving forward, I'm just going to be better, and I have to tweak these things, you know? taking in data, taking in information, and then applying it. Some is foolishness, right? Somebody may say something, say, no, that's not really the case. But others say something like, I could really use that. And it's just filtering. Next thing, far why the constructive criticism is so rough on people is that because they haven't done, all right, some households are so toxic that the criticism is just toxic. So that just shuts people off to criticism. They don't want to hear nothing from nobody. So we should have put that up earlier. It's so toxic, they don't want to hear nothing from nobody. But a lot of people, because they haven't really done a lot of things in their lives and they haven't been in positions to receive constructive criticism, when they do receive it, it's so damaging. Also, with this whole baby parenting thing going on, these kids are so sheltered and constantly praised for foolishness. I was out in public and what did the child do? I don't know what they did. They did like a basic human action, and the parent was just carrying on and on about it. So these kids now, especially this generation, they're just distorted because if they're not getting praised, it's an issue. It's like almost like you're like verbally abusing them. And a lot of people are like that too, in the sense that they don't know what a healthy relationship is. They think a healthy relationship is one-sided, where it's just praise and worship, and there's no conflict, there's no disagreements, there's no constructive criticism. That's one of the issues we need to touch on, Farah. People haven't been exposed to healthy relationships. Farah can call me and say, yo, Farah had to check me years. Hey, Farah the reason I never knew TV's still going, by the way, too, yo. So we all know. Autarchii is the reason I never knew TV still exists. I'm not going to lie to you, Farah, because I was teaching. I was like, man, it's just too much. And the man had to tell me the program. It's probably something I didn't want to hear, but the man, am I lying?
I reality, man.
Am I lying?
Now, reality, man, because you see the levels, so what they just incorporate that and there is, all right, what content after content. Cause remember, say, from the get-go, see, that's not enough people don't understand, we'll use the example then.
Hold on, Farah, before we use the example, right, I just want to show people in regards to mature relationships. Farah, have I told you certain things you probably don't want to hear, yo?
All the while, I'm telling man, straight through, man, I have to fire, then I saw the set, man.
But am I telling you from my heart, and I'm telling you something that's beneficial to you, or something you need to improve on that I've witnessed?
Straightforward, fire. Straightforward.
This is a consistent thing, right? Or you tell me something, say, yo, boom, this can't work, or this foolishness, or yo, you need to redo this, or I don't know about this.
No argument, nah, for that.
So it's not like it's just when we talk, it's just our friendly praising each other. For all right, the man tell me, say, yo, Junior, you're doing foolishness, this can't work, or no, that's not the way to go about this. A simple thing. And we need to build our relationship. I hope you remember your thought you was gonna say, but I just want to let people know that this is a mature relationship, Farah. If you care about a person and you see somebody doing something that's detrimental, who am I not to tell the person? Yeah, the tone may be off, it may be aggressive, it may not be aggressive, but what I'm saying is actually beneficial. Like, yo, what you're doing cannot work. You're going to take an L doing this. I just had to throw that in, Farah, so they know, say, how the thing vibe and we're not just talking for the sake of talking. But hopefully you remember your thought.
No, really today I talk, like the example, I tell them, say, Larry, watch this now. I say, I never knew TV. It's not like, so the reason why the example is so perfect is because I never knew TV is not a channel where getting a mediocre like content or nothing like that, seeing. So enough people don't understand, say, you can't even be in the place or in the driver's seat where you do good and you still take constructive criticism. So that's like the key component to this, because people feel like, say, in order to receive constructive criticism, you have to do bad things or you have to do below par. No, fire, you cannot do so much good, because we said that their channel, it's been a store fire, it's been a reveal some things that people need in their life, but yet still you can't take constructive criticism. So who is you not to take constructive criticism? And at that time I try to show people, say, the need for overstand, say, fire, it's constructive criticism is something where can build you. So it's you in yourself have overstand. Say, it not mean, say, you're below par, it not mean, say, you're not do good, it not mean, say, you don't have a standard. It just means, say, yeah, the standard where you have, you can maintain the standard and you can improve the particular situation where you're in a far the better. What there is, say, I'm really not even that meditate too tough, is that is a cult. We mention culture overall, but the way our relationships toxic is always a one-sided thing where most people exposed to. And then I start realize the way how things set now is like people just so fragile. You have to continuously soft them up and continuously give them this particular information in bits and pieces, or because they can't handle it, and if you give them, they might go into a meltdown, or they might get some anxiety, or they might do this or get depressed. But them not overstand say, yes, these things are real, and we do analyze trauma. Yeah, we analyze trauma, but we can't live and make the trauma and the victimization culture come control our life fire, because it's like everybody always wants to be this victim. It's like anything where you show them is a victim and you are the aggressor because you show somebody something. Even no matter what they say, no matter if you show them rugged, that shouldn't matter for you. The fact that somebody even spend them time for show you something where going benefit your life and not for them life, that means there's something where you're supposed to listen to for you, because I want never did have to take them time out for try to show you something that can benefit your life. I must care them what I care about in the first place for even want to give you that. And I'm saying now, why we always feel say information where I come to it or any farmer talk where I come to it have to come from a negative place. It just shows say we have a negative mind if we feel like the messages where I come across to it 100% of the time have negativity. I mean, when I get it if you mention say right even a 30% or sometimes, but why is it that every information I come across to it always have to be negative towards we? That simply means say we now really hide behind the victimization culture just overtake everything and I make we start pretty the wrong way.
Man, I forgot the title, but when we interviewed Dr. Doc, she spoke about why people struggle so much with accepting constructive criticism. If I remember, I'll put it in the title. But she was just saying in regards to it's like and I think she used the word net. Let me not even say it for her because I'm paraphrasing it wrong, but I know she did. She touched on it. She said something brilliant, and I believe it was in the realm of some being like feeling inadequate or something. I don't know. People got some perfection complex, bro. That's what it is too, man. It's like, you know, listen, I'm not the bragger boast. I'm a highly successful person, right? And like, I mess up all the time, and I got to improve all the time. So I don't know. I don't know what else to say. You know, like there's always room for improvement. There's always room for growth, and like it's just if you want to be good at something, that's the gist. I want to tie up this whole thing for it. That's why I said this message is not for everyone. If you want to be good at something, if you want to grow as a person, you have to take constructive criticism. If you don't, you're cutting off. It's like you flatline yourself in regards to growth because you're going to be stuck in one place. And everyone, listen, before you get defensive, all I recommend is this. Yes, there are people that hate, there are people that grudge, whatever. All I'm saying is to just listen. That's all. Listen to what a person is saying. Put your emotions on pause. Analyze what they're saying, right? And a lot of times, if it's hitting you in the gut, it may be something you need to improve on. It may be a mix of hate and truth. And you got to filter that out. But you have to listen. The first thing is don't get defensive. Just listen. You are not going to grow and progress in life if you cannot take constructive criticism, if you are in a relationship. If you guys can have serious conversations without everybody getting all offended, good luck, you know. It's going to be a rough and rocky road, and the relationship's going to stall because you can't grow.
I know something. Continue. Go on.
I don't want to say something, but because as people say, I'm so real or something, fire. That's why some people don't want to come around because I'm just going to tell you the deal, you know. And I'm telling you genuinely out of love. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to overstep boundaries and get all in your business. But if we did a reason, fire, we about straight progress. That's what we are. Straight progress. That's all we dealing with, fire. We just dealing with straight progress. So if we need to do something to increase, and remember, I like to see people around me winning too. That's why I'm telling you. Because this don't benefit me no way. For me to sit here and tell you something how do I benefit from this? Outside of the people, if you're around me, if you're in the circle fire, I want the best for you. I want you to grow. I want you to win. And I just think that's why I win so much, because I really want people to win. I'm not a grudgeful person, Far. I really want people to win, and maybe that's why my life's so blessed. I don't know. But I love seeing people get money. I love seeing people do good, Far. I love see people just excel at what they do. And I love to see people maximize their potential, because one of the things that hurts me so much, and maybe it shouldn't, maybe my heart's out there too much, but I hate seeing wasted potential. I'm a great A&R. I can really see the talents and potential of people, and I hate seeing it wasted. And I see it every day. Without a fear, laziness, mediocrity, lack of confidence, people just there. The great talent that they have. You could say, Allah gave it to you, Jah, Christ, Krishna, Buddha, the universe. Whoever gave you that talent, you are not using it, and shame on you, Fire. Because we only around for a split second, in the realm of things. I just try and squeeze out every little talent out of my Fire. You know, you wring out a wet shirt, so I try to wring out the talent in myself, But then, Far, here goes the next point. We was reasoning about this the other day, right? I can't put my expectations on the next person, That's why I got to get better at. There's the expectations I have for myself, I can't put that on the next person. So a person may be cool, content, knowing that they got that great talent inside and just kind of kill it. Me, I'm not good with that, but I gotta get better, because that's one of the things too. That's why I say stuff to people in the sense that I'm putting my expectations on myself on others, and I'm acknowledging it now. I'm working on kind of quelling that. Because some people take that as offense. The fact that I want good for you, people get offended by it, which is kind of wild in reality, but it is what it is. So I'm working on toning it down, tell you the truth.
But enough people can't cite the energy too, because I'm tell people all the time, so if constructive criticism come your way, you will know by even the energy. So energy is everything, And sometimes people not even understand that. So if the energy pure, at them time they even feel listen more to. Because I just feel like most people not understand. But something important I really want, so I feel like can be really enough people can relate to, especially since so much people work on 9 to 5. Working on 9 to 5, there's one standard thing I know. Every corporation normally them do a yearly review or a review twice a year. And with the person who your superior, the person who you report to normally give you a review. So you more everybody think about this thing. Think about everybody where you communicate with as somebody where you report to, in a sense. Ask them for some feedback. You see me I say, ask them for some feedback and hear the feedback them where you get. And so when you ask them for the feedback and hear the feedback where you get, try to see what is the common theme in all of the different feedback them where you get. And that's the first form of accepting constructive criticism, and see how you can use that to benefit your life or for benefit or for improve any particular traits where you have. So you see me I say, because if you do it on the corporation, you must can do it in your personal life, because where you do your value work over your life. And that would I like everybody to even want to incorporate. You see me I say?
No, that's the problem. They do value work over their life. That's a different reason, but that is one of the problems, because people, we don't want to get into that far, right? But it just is the thing is listen. That's the thing. Listen before you get defense, because I know the default is direct defense, and while you're getting into your defense mode, you're not listening, right? Get past the tone, get past the person, listen to the message. Then you have to make a decision and say, is there truth there? Is there an area that you need to improve? And why is it so hard to accept that you need to improve? Why is it so hard to accept that far? There are aspects of your life that you need to improve. There are aspects of your character that you need to improve. We are not perfect, Far. We humans. We are not perfect. I'm not perfect. You are not perfect. No one is perfect. Why is it so hard to accept that I need to improve at this particular thing and actually improve on it? And use your brain. As I said, there may be a situation where someone's telling you foolishness. Someone may be trying to be mean, and you need to analyze it. But you can't analyze it by jumping to the default of being defensive. Listen, last thing I'm going to say, Far. I'm going to use basketball, right? Hey, I got a Division I scholarship. I'm not no natural talent. This is straight work. And it just came from applying constructive criticism. That's literally how I got a scholarship. This person said I suck doing this. You can't do this. You got to get better at this. In order for anyone to look at you, you got to do this. So I just added it to the arsenal, Farah. And a lot of people need to add a lot of stuff to the arsenal, Farah. And that's the reason for today, right? Listen, Farah, before you jump to defensive with your parents, with your spouse, with your children, with your coworker, with your boss, whoever, listen, just listen. Listen to what they have to say. And if it's foolishness, it's just foolishness and keep it moving. If it does not apply to you at all, after you're being truthful with yourself, then just keep it moving. And if there's an aspect that say, hey, you know what, I need to get better. I just got some constructive criticism this week. I don't want to share it as a business thing, but there's an aspect I need to get better at, and I acknowledge it. I need to get better at that aspect, Farah. Yes, I have fallen short in that area. I need to get better, and I'm working to improve in that area. And what does that do? It just makes what I'm doing better. And keep it a buck, I don't even like the person that said it. I don't even know the person. The whole tone was off and this and that. But
yeah, that is the key part.
But what they were saying was truthful. There's an aspect of something that I'm doing that I need to get better at. And I can say, keep it a buck, I need to get better at, and I'm working on improving that aspect.
No matter who it want come from, I never have to like you. I even have to like you, but if the criticism makes sense, it just makes sense.
We give thanks for everyone tuned in. Hopefully, you can actually work on yourself and just listen. Before we get defensive, listen and say, you know what? Some truth there, yeah. I can improve that, So we give thanks for everyone. Stay safe. We get time, check out Autarchie's EP, Disrupting the Status Quo. Listen to the first album so you can listen to the improvement thing. We talking BS, right? Regardless of
no, joke.
presentation of the music. And so we go till next time.